It's 3 in the morning. The house is completely still. You're deep in sleep, and then it happens. A sound like thunder rolls down the hallway. Something crashes in the living room. A small, furry blur sprints past your bedroom door at full speed, skids across the floor, bounces off the couch, and disappears into the darkness, only to do it all over again 2 minutes later. Most owners laugh it off. They call it
Kitty,
the
where are you
Zoomies,
going?
share a video on social media, and go
Come
back to
back here,
sleep
you
slightly
silly
confused
cat.
and mildly annoyed. But here's what almost nobody talks about: there's a reason your cat does this, and it goes much deeper than random bursts of silliness. Every midnight sprint, every wild-eyed lap around the living room, every inexplicable leap off the furniture at 3 a.m. is your cat communicating something real about who they are, how they feel, and what they actually need from you. Once you understand what's really behind the Zoomies, you'll never look at those nighttime sprints the same way again. And more importantly, you'll know exactly what to do about them, and what they're quietly telling you about your cat's well-being. Let's start from the very beginning. Point 1. The wild animal living in your home. Your cat is, at their core, a predator. It doesn't matter that they eat from a ceramic bowl with their name on it. It doesn't matter that their favorite nap spot is a heated blanket on your couch. Underneath all of that domestication is an animal whose entire biology is wired for hunting, and hunting at night. Cats are crepuscular by nature, meaning they are most instinctively active during the hours surrounding dawn and dusk. However, in the wild, cats also hunt well into the late night hours. Their eyes are designed for low-light conditions, with a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum that amplifies available light and makes them extraordinarily effective hunters in near-total darkness. Their hearing can detect frequencies far beyond what humans register. Their reflexes operate faster than conscious thought. Every part of a cat's body was built for explosive,
there, sweet
high-speed
kitty.
movement in short, intense bursts.
You're
Stalk,
so
sprint,
calm and
pounce,
cozy.
catch.
I love our
Here's what
quiet
that means for
moments.
your living room at 3 a.m. When your cat launches into a full sprint for no apparent reason, they are not being silly or random. Their body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. That energy has been building all day, and it needs somewhere to go. Most indoor cats spend enormous stretches of the day sleeping and resting. They live in safe, comfortable environments with no real predators to avoid and no prey to chase. That's wonderful for their safety, but it means that all of that hardwired, deeply instinctive predatory energy accumulates throughout the day with no natural outlet. And then midnight arrives. What this means for you as an owner: the Zoomies are not a behavior problem. They are not a sign that something is wrong with your cat. They are a sign that your cat's instincts are healthy and intact, and that those instincts need a proper outlet during daylight hours. We'll come back to exactly how to give them that. Point 2. The energy that has nowhere to go. The Zoomies are almost always a sign of pent-up energy, and for indoor cats, that's an everyday reality. Think about what your cat's day actually looks like. You leave for work in the morning. Your cat naps. The house is quiet. They nap more. They look out the window. They nap again. By the time the house goes dark and the humans go to bed, your cat has been in a low-stimulation environment for hours, and they are, by their biological clock, just starting to feel genuinely awake. Studies in feline behavior have consistently shown that cats who receive less interactive play during the day are significantly more likely to engage in high-energy bursts of activity at night. It's not mischief. It's not defiance. It's energy management, or rather, the lack of it. Think of it this way: if you sat still all day and weren't allowed to exercise, by evening you'd feel restless, agitated, and desperate to move. Your cat's version of that restlessness is 4 legs, a tail, and zero concern for your sleep schedule. There's also a thermoregulation element worth understanding. Cats are most physically comfortable and energetically primed in cooler temperatures. Late night and early morning hours, especially that 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. window, tend to be the coolest part of any given day. Cats naturally feel more alert, more agile, and more ready to move during these hours. Combine that with hours of stored energy, a body clock wired for nighttime activity, and the cool quiet of a house that's finally still, and you get a cat tearing through the hallway like they're being chased by something invisible. What this means for you as an owner: a dedicated play session of 15 to 20 minutes in the early evening can dramatically reduce nighttime Zoomies. Use a wand toy, a laser pointer followed by a physical toy they can catch, or a feather teaser. Simulate the hunt cycle: stalk, chase, pounce, catch, and let them feel that natural completion. A cat who has hunted before bed is a cat who sleeps through the night. Point 3. The post-litter box sprint is a different thing entirely. Not all Zoomies are the same, and the ones that happen right after your cat uses the litter box carry a very specific message. If you've ever noticed your cat bolting out of the litter box at maximum speed, looking slightly wild-eyed and almost alarmed, you're not imagining the urgency. This particular version of the Zoomies has a real physiological explanation, and it's one that cat owners genuinely need to understand. The vagus nerve in cats, as in humans, runs from the brainstem down through the abdomen. When the bowels are stimulated during a bowel movement, the vagus nerve can trigger a sudden rush of sensation that produces a brief, euphoric, high-energy response. It's sometimes called euphoria in informal terms, and it explains why cats emerge from the litter box looking like they've just had a revelation. But here's the part that matters: post-litter box Zoomies that suddenly become more frequent, more frantic, or are accompanied by signs of discomfort before or during elimination can be a signal worth paying attention to. Constipation, digestive discomfort, or other gastrointestinal issues can amplify the vagus nerve response significantly. A healthy cat with normal post-litter box Zoomies is almost certainly fine. But if the behavior changes suddenly, or if your cat seems to be straining, visiting the box more frequently than usual, or vocalizing during elimination, that's a conversation for your veterinarian, not something to simply laugh off. What this means for you as an owner: know your cat's baseline. A little post-litter box sprint is normal and often a sign of good digestive health. A sudden change in that behavior is worth monitoring. Keep the litter box clean. Cats are significantly less stressed during elimination when their environment is fresh, and note any changes in frequency or behavior around litter box use. Point 4. Stress, anxiety, and the Zoomies you shouldn't ignore. Sometimes the Zoomies are not about energy or instinct at all, they are about emotional discharge. Cats, like many animals, use physical movement to release stress and process overwhelming feelings. If something in your cat's environment has shifted, a new pet, a new person, a change in routine, loud noises, construction nearby, even rearranged furniture, your cat may be carrying tension they don't know how to express any other way. A sudden increase in Zoomies, particularly if they seem more frantic or distressed than playful, can be your cat's way of physically shaking off anxiety. Feline behavior researchers have noted that cats who are under chronic stress often oscillate between excessive stillness and sudden bursts of frenzied movement, the nervous system cycling between shutdown and overload. Watch the quality of the Zoomies carefully. Playful Zoomies look light, bouncy, almost joyful, wide eyes that are bright, a tail that's up or gently curved, movements that seem coordinated even in their chaos. Stress-related Zoomies often look different: lower body posture, flattened ears, a tail held low or puffed, and an urgency that feels less like play and more like escape. Here's what most owners miss: if your cat's Zoomies are happening during the day as well as at night, and if they seem triggered by specific sounds or events, that's a stress signal. Daytime Zoomies in a cat who also shows other anxious behaviors, hiding, overgrooming, reduced appetite, or excessive vocalization, deserve attention. What this means for you as an owner: create stability. Cats thrive on predictability, consistent feeding times, a reliable daily routine, and safe spaces they can retreat to without being disturbed. If you've recently made changes at home and your cat's Zoomies have increased, give them time and space to adjust, and introduce enrichment gradually. If the anxiety seems significant, your veterinarian can discuss options ranging from environmental adjustments to behavioral support. Point 5. What the Zoomies are really saying about your bond. Here's something that might genuinely surprise you: cats are far more selective about where they feel safe enough to zoom than most people realize. A cat who runs wild through your home, bouncing off the furniture and sprinting past you with that slightly unhinged look in their eyes, is a cat who feels completely secure in their environment. Zoomies require vulnerability. They require a cat to let their guard down entirely, to be loud and visible and completely undignified, and cats simply do not do that in spaces or with people where they feel unsafe. In multi-cat households, you'll rarely see a cat zoom in the presence of another cat they don't fully trust. In homes where a cat is fearful or chronically stressed, Zoomies are often completely absent, not because the energy isn't there, but because the cat never feels relaxed enough to release it. When your cat rockets past you at 3 a.m. with wild eyes and absolutely no regard for your feelings about being woken up, they are, in their own chaotic way, showing you that they are comfortable. That they trust you. That your home feels safe enough to be completely, gloriously unguarded in. That midnight thunder down the hallway? That's your cat, at full expression, in a space they feel loved in. If this is giving you a new appreciation for those 3 a.m. wake-up calls, hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more to learn about what your cat is really trying to tell you. The Zoomies have always seemed like one of those endearingly weird cat behaviors that doesn't really mean anything, just cats being cats, as people like to say. But now you know the truth. Every midnight sprint is a story. It might be the story of a predator's instincts running exactly as nature designed them to. It might be a message that your cat needs more play, more stimulation, more of a chance to feel like the hunter they were born to be. It might be a small signal about their digestive health worth paying attention to. It might be anxiety looking for a physical exit. Or it might simply be the purest, most honest expression of a cat who feels completely safe and completely at home, in your home, with you. The cats who zoom are the cats who are, in their own loud, inconvenient, middle-of-the-night way, thriving. So next time it happens, next time that small furry blur tears through your bedroom at 3 a.m. and you're lying there blinking at the ceiling, take a breath. Maybe even smile. Your cat is telling you something. And now you know how to listen.